Alright, so the clip that I have for you today is of Kodak Black being sentenced, and it's very hard to hear this judge. Like always, these damn audio mics in the courtroom are just pure garbage. So I'm going to read briefly to you what exactly happened in the courtroom. Then we'll watch the clip after. I'll give you a little bit, I guess, better understanding of what's going on. The rapper known as Kodak Black entered a guilty plea Wednesday afternoon in Florence County, South Carolina. The rapper was arrested in 2016, charged with first-degree criminal sexual conduct following a concert in Florence County. As part of the negotiated plea, Black pled guilty to a lesser charge of first-degree assault and battery, which not only is a lesser charge but much better on paper than a sexual assault case. I'm sure he's happy about that. But he was sentenced to 10 years in prison, which was suspended to 18 months of probation, along with counseling and an apology. When asked by the judge if he was guilty of the charge of first-degree assault and battery, the defendant answered yeah. Black then addressed the victim, who was appearing virtually via a live feed. "I apologize this happened and hopefully we can all move forward," he said. Following his arrest, Black was banned from South Carolina and was only allowed in the state for court appearances. Black's attorney asked the judge if the travel ban can be removed now that his legal issues have been handled. Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson attended the hearing with Black. Jackson and the rapper arrived over an hour late in an Escalade. Over an hour late to court, and this dude still gets blessed. Unbelievable. Was the judge literally waiting for them? Is that how that shit goes when you're famous, man? Judges wait for you? Damn. Let's get into this clip.
And impose the negotiated plea agreement.
Mr. Black, on indictment 2017 GS21-00587, with regard to the offense of assault and battery first degree, the sentence of the court is to be committed to the state law correctional period of 10 years, not suspended with 18 months probation. You will be assessed for counseling needs and complete those, terminated from compliance. Good luck.
Like I said,
18 months probation. So I'm guessing that's all he has to do is complete probation. But ladies and gentlemen, 10 years on papers and 18 months of probation is almost like a trick-up mission, especially for a very famous gangster rapper like Kodak Black, who seems to find trouble coming his way all the time. So a lot of people might think that this is a sweet deal, which it kind of is. He ain't get no jail time for it, but 10 years over your head with 18 months of probation, that's what, a year and a half? Y'all know my math skills are horrible. If I was in his situation, they gave me 10 years, suspended all of it with 18 months of probation, good behavior, I would be thinking in the back of my head that I'm probably more than likely going to be violated. Because it's very hard for people, especially people that are still out there in the mix a little bit, just a little bit, to stay out of trouble, man. Right before I got off of probation, I literally had to sit in my house for the last 7 months. I was terrified to go out in the streets, thinking that some kind of situation might come my way and I'll end up getting violated, you know? So I stayed in my house the majority of my time on probation. When I first started probation, I was still doing the shit I was doing before I went in. Clubs, partying, smoking bud, that shit don't work. You will get violated, man. Sooner or later, you will get caught up and go back to jail under a violation. So I can only imagine how hard it's going to be for this dude to stay out of trouble for 18 months. With 10 years over his head, meaning if he gets in any trouble, the judge could very easily give him 10 years. But that's not how it typically happens. On first violations, they usually give you like 6 months. Like my first violation was 6 months. Second violation, 6 months. Third violation, went back to prison. You know, but it also depends on the charges that you bring back, if any. If he were to bring back a fresh felony on his 18 months of probation, he'll have to go through the court process for that felony, and then if he's convicted and found guilty for it, then he'll get violated on this charge and have to be facing a judge who has up to 10 years to give him. Not to mention the fresh charge that brought him back. That's just all hypothetical. That's how it plays out when you're on probation. It's a shit show, man. It's a trick up. That's why a lot of people opt out of probation and do day for day in penitentiary. Because they know when they come home, they can't do that probation stuff, man. You know, they just can't.
Like I said,
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, one item that
Kodak
we have
so
added to the
polite.
conditions of his probation is that he be allowed to travel in and out of South Carolina for business purposes.
Ms. Clemens, review, has that been proposed to you?
It was just a few moments ago, Your Honor, and I understand the nature of his business, being artist, he travels, and so I don't have much heartburn with that. As long as U.S. probation knows where he is and they're fully monitored.
So he's going to be allowed to travel between states, from what I'm hearing, at least a few states. I don't know. I can't remember what he just mentioned, but they're not having any issues with it. They understand that he's an entertainer, and as long as they know where he's at and kind of keeping tabs on him.
Your Honor, not to complicate matters, but in that regard, he's actually on federal supervised release and has been successfully monitored by a federal probation agent since he was released in maybe February from the Bureau of Prisons. So don't expect any problems in that regard.
Well, that's actually some good input there. The state is not worried about him fleeing because he's already on federal supervision, and he seems to be doing good on that. So they're just taking the credibility of the feds for the most part to keep an eye on him. You know, they ain't worried about it. They ain't worried about it.
And Your Honor, I just go into his criminal history as being a negotiated plea because they wouldn't make it go one way or the other.
Hey, Kodak hair gonna look crazy as hell, but that suit sharp, huh? He look like an attorney from the neck down. That hair is wild, man. I swear that shit reminds me of The Simpsons every time I see it. It's put together, though. It's put together. He ain't spinning. He ain't got them waves. That's for sure.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you for your time today.
Before they leave,
Holy shit, he got a diamond lightning bolt in that jank. Oh, Kodak, boy, what you doing in there?
he's intended to protect our victim and keep him safe. And yeah, if I would, I'd like to remind those in the audience, there's a statute.
Yo, Kodak. Kodak. He got the grill. He got what, brass knuckles in the courtroom. I ain't never seen anyone allowed to go in there with brass knuckles. I'll just play. I don't think the brass knuckles, but damn, look at them shits. Hey, Kodak Black, man. I don't know how this dude does it. Pardoned by the president. Getting slapped on the wrist for some crazy shit here now. Hey, Kodak, man. It really makes me wonder what kind of plans are in store for Kodak's future. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Kodak Black being spared in the courtroom once again. No smoke coming his way.